Longline fishing for tuna is a traditional but still very effective method, commonly used in the offshore fishing industry. First, fishermen prepare a long line system, which can be tens to hundreds of kilometers long, with thousands of hooks attached at equal distances. Each hook is hooked with attractive bait such as mackerel, squid or sardines to attract tuna. The line is dropped into the sea along a predetermined route, usually in the early morning or late afternoon, the time when tuna are most active. During the time of dropping the line, the fishing boat will move slowly to ensure that the line does not get tangled and the bait falls in the right place. After a few hours to half a day, fishermen begin to pull the line up using an automatic or manual pulley system. When tuna are hooked, they often struggle very hard, so pulling the fish up requires high technique, smooth coordination between the members on the boat and support equipment. After being loaded onto the ship, the tuna will be sorted and immediately refrigerated to maintain its freshness. Serving for processing or export. The longline fishing method has the advantage of having little impact on the marine environment, selecting tuna of suitable size and minimizing the bycatch of unwanted species. However, it also requires large investments in equipment, techniques and time, as well as strict compliance with regulations on protecting aquatic resources to ensure the sustainability of the fishery. In addition to technical requirements, longline tuna fishing also depends a lot on natural factors and the experience of the fisherman. Before each trip, fishermen must closely monitor information about the weather, ocean currents, seawater temperature and other biological signs such as the presence of seabirds or schools of small fish, factors that suggest where tuna are concentrated. In addition, determining the right time to drop the line and the right location is a key factor in determining the productivity of the fishing trip. Many veteran fishermen said that to have a successful trip, they must rely on both science and traditional experience. Such as observing the watercolor, the reflection of the sea surface or even the seasonal migration habits of each tuna species such as skipjack tuna, big-eye tuna or bluefin tuna. During the operation, the captain must also regularly adjust the direction and speed of the ship to ensure that the fishing line is always placed in the optimal position. After harvesting, the fish preservation stage also plays a very important role. On modern ships, tuna is quickly frozen at extremely low temperatures, usually below -40 degrees Celsius, to maintain the quality of the fish meat until it reaches shore. Some ships are also equipped with cold storage compartments according to export standards to strict markets such as Japan or Europe. It can be said that longline tuna fishing is a hard job, requiring knowledge, health and perseverance of the workers, but at the same time it is also the pride of many coastal fishing communities, as they not only earn a living but also contribute to preserving traditional occupations and developing a sustainable marine economy. However, in addition to its economic and traditional values, longline tuna fishing is also facing many challenges. First of all, tuna resources are declining due to overexploitation and climate change. Tuna are moving further and further from shore and appearing less frequently, forcing fishermen to spend more time, fuel and effort to achieve the desired yield. At the same time, the cost of operating fishing vessels, from fuel, preservation equipment, to labor, is increasing, reducing the profits of fishermen. In addition, International regulations on tuna fishing are also increasingly strict to protect the marine environment and ensure the sustainability of aquatic resources. Fishermen must strictly comply with regulations on catch quotas, permitted fish sizes, environmentally friendly fishing equipment, and must fully record and report yields to the authorities. These regulations, although having positive ecological implications, also require fishermen to change their traditional fishing habits and invest more in modern machinery and equipment. In this context, many coastal localities have actively supported fishermen to switch to a responsible fishing model, providing preferential loans, technical training, and encouraging the formation of solidarity teams at sea to support each other in fishing and protecting fishing grounds. Some initiatives, such as tracing the origin of tuna, linking production according to the value chain, or building local tuna brands, are also being gradually implemented to increase product value and protect the rights of fishermen. It can be said that longline tuna fishing is not only a fishing method, but also a part of the identity of coastal fishing communities, where people are closely connected to the sea and always strive to adapt for sustainable development in the new era. Not only that, longline tuna fishing also opens up many development opportunities in the field of marine economy and international integration, with the global consumption trend increasingly focusing on quality. Food safety and traceability. Tuna caught by this method is highly appreciated for its selectivity, environmental friendliness, and the ability to control quality from exploitation to processing. Many domestic seafood processing enterprises have closely cooperated with offshore fishermen, invested in modern machinery and freezing and packaging lines that meet export standards, bringing Vietnamese tuna to demanding markets such as Japan, the US, Korea, and the European Union. Thanks to that, people's income has improved, and the lives of coastal communities have also been increasingly improved. Along with the economic aspect, tuna fishing also contributes to preserving the maritime culture and the nation's long-standing tradition of going to sea. The image of ships sailing out to sea, experienced fishermen bravely facing the waves to bring home precious catches, has become a symbol of the resilient spirit and love for the profession of coastal people. Many generations in a family continue to stick with the profession, preserving and passing on valuable experiences such as how to choose the time to drop the line. Identify fish-rich sea areas, or how to process fish as soon as they are brought onto the boat to maintain optimal freshness. These values not only contribute to creating a unique maritime cultural identity, but can also become a potential for developing experiential tourism in the future. In short, long-line tuna fishing is a method that is both traditional and closely linked to the trend of modern sustainable development. Despite many difficulties and challenges, with support from state policies, innovation in production thinking, and fishermen's long-standing attachment to the sea, tuna fishing will certainly continue to play an important role in developing the marine economy, protecting the environment, and preserving the precious cultural values of the Vietnamese people to maximize the potential of longline tuna fishing. Investment in science and technology and human resource training is essential. Currently, many fishing vessels still use outdated equipment, lack positioning systems, fish finding radars, or standard cold storage, resulting in low fishing efficiency and unstable product quality. The application of modern technology such as GPS positioning systems, ultrasonic transducers, satellite signal transmission equipment, or fishing ground forecasting software applications will help fishermen accurately determine where tuna gathers, shorten fishing time and reduce risks when operating far offshore. In addition, tuna preservation technology on ships also needs to be invested in, especially the quick freezing system at super cold temperatures, super frozen, to help fish retain their color, meat structure and nutritional content, meeting the strict requirements of high-end export markets. In addition, training on knowledge about sustainable exploitation, protection of marine resources, maritime safety and first aid skills at sea also needs to be widely disseminated to fishermen. Understanding and compliance with legal regulations on fisheries exploitation. Especially international commitments such as the IUU agreement, illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, will help fishermen avoid the risk of being denied import or being administratively sanctioned. At the same time, building cooperatives, fishing unions or cooperative models for tuna fishing according to the value chain is also an effective direction. When fishermen join together, they will have access to capital, share equipment, learn from experience and work together to solve difficulties when operating offshore. This model also creates conditions for processing and exporting enterprises to easily trace the origin, improve product quality and create trust for international consumers. It can be said that longline tuna fishing is a potential industry but also requires systematic, scientific investment and close coordination between fishermen, enterprises and state management agencies. With the right orientation and determination from many sides, the traditional tuna fishing industry will certainly continue to develop strongly. Becoming the pride of Vietnam's marine economy in the future. In the future, longline tuna fishing will not only stop at simple exploitation activities, but can also expand in the direction of diversifying added value and linking with other industries such as deep processing, cold logistics, marine tourism or experiential education. Instead of just exporting raw tuna, businesses can invest in a closed processing chain, from preliminary processing, fish fillet filtering, vacuum packaging, to the production of high-end products such as sashimi, canned tuna, smoked tuna or functional foods extracted from tuna meat and oil. These products not only increase economic value but also help effectively exploit the entire fish, limit waste, and at the same time suit modern consumption trends. In addition, the experiential tourism model of going out to sea with fishermen, or a day as a fisherman, is increasingly attracting the attention of domestic and foreign tourists. Combining tuna fishing activities with marine ecotourism services. Local cuisine. Learning about the culture and life of fishermen will create unique experiences and contribute to promoting the image of Vietnam's maritime industry to the world. This is a potential direction to exploit natural resources sustainably, while creating additional livelihoods for coastal communities during off-fishing periods or when catches are low. On the other hand, protecting the marine environment, which is directly linked to the survival of tuna fishing, is also a factor that needs special attention. Reducing plastic waste from fishing gear, collecting and treating waste materials after each sea trip, as well as participating in marine conservation initiatives, establishing no fishing areas to restore tuna resources, etc. are practical actions that every fisherman and local community can take. When the marine environment is preserved and the ecosystem is balanced, longline tuna fishing can continue to develop in the long term, effectively and sustainably, from a difficult livelihood. Longline tuna fishing is gradually transforming into a modern, integrated and promising marine economic sector. The intersection between tradition and technology, between fishermen's experience and modern science, between conservation and development will be the key for this industry not only to survive but also to reach far on the world fisheries map. And more importantly, it is a way to preserve a part of the soul of the ocean, where people and the ocean are deeply connected through each generation to realize these potentials. The role of the state and related organizations is extremely important in orienting, supporting and managing longline tuna fishing. First of all, it is necessary to continue to improve the legal policy system related to fisheries exploitation in a synchronous, clear and practical direction, while ensuring the harmony of interests between economic development and marine resource protection. Preferential credit policies, support for investment in modern equipment, improving fishing vessels, building fishing ports and safe anchorage areas also need to be strongly implemented and reach the right beneficiaries. Those fishermen who are truly attached to the profession, responsible and conscious of protecting resources. In addition, scientific research, fishing ground forecasting, and tuna resource monitoring need to be promoted to provide accurate and timely information to fishermen. The construction of fisheries data centers, the application of digital technology in tracking fishing routes, electronic logging and traceability are essential steps to help Vietnam's fisheries meet international standards. Especially in the context of strong integration and globalization today, we cannot fail to mention the role of the community, where people directly work together to preserve traditional values. The everyday stories of fishermen braving the waves to go out to sea. Children growing up on the beach learning how to tie fishing lines, choose bait, or experience sharing sessions between generations of crew members, are the strong ties connecting people with the sea. It is this deep attachment that has been nurturing the spirit of love for the profession. Love for the sea, and is the driving force that helps the tuna fishing profession overcome many difficulties and challenges to survive and develop. Ultimately, the success of longline tuna fishing is not only measured by output or economic value, but also by its sustainability in the use of resources, in the lives of coastal people, in fishing culture and in the relationship between people and nature, when boats still set sail every day at dawn, when fresh tuna are regularly brought ashore, when new generations of fishermen continue to follow their ancestors' footsteps with faith and hope. That is proof of a profession that not only lives but also lives healthily, lives beautifully, and lives forever with the homeland sea. Accompanying the development of longline tuna fishing is the need to raise public awareness of the importance of responsible exploitation and ocean protection. In the context of the world facing environmental crisis and climate change, every small action from people, such as not littering the sea, reusing materials on ships, or actively participating in marine conservation campaigns, contributes to keeping the ocean blue, clean and rich. In particular, as consumers are increasingly interested in the origin and fishing methods of seafood, tuna fishing associated with environmentally friendly methods will become a great competitive advantage in the international market. Not only that, communication activities, community education and bringing knowledge about the sea and fisheries into schools are also a positive direction to foster a love of the sea for the younger generation from an early age. When students understand the arduous journey to get fresh tuna, when they witness the hard work and resilience of fishermen, they themselves will become proud successors, conscious of preserving the sea and developing the traditional profession in a modern, humane direction. In the long term, longline tuna fishing can become a model for sustainable marine economic development if properly planned within the overall national marine strategy. Zoning fishing grounds. Controlling exploitation output. Linking exploitation with aquaculture, conservation and tourism are ways to reduce pressure on natural resources while ensuring livelihoods for fishermen. At the same time, building the brand of Vietnamese tuna with high-quality standards. Clear origin, associated with the story of the sea and the working people, will contribute to enhancing the position of the Vietnamese seafood industry in the global market. It can be said that the journey of a seemingly simple profession such as tuna fishing with a long fishing line is actually a vivid testament to the close connection between people, nature and culture. It is the place where seemingly fragile fishing lines begin, but connect millions of dreams, livelihoods and hopes at the forefront of the wind and waves. And if cared for, invested in and developed in the right direction, this traditional profession will not only be a part of the past or present, but will continue to accompany the future of the country on the path to conquering the ocean in a comprehensive view. Longline tuna fishing is not only a purely economic production activity, but also a vivid symbol of the cultural identity of the sea. A place where folk knowledge and modern science crystallize. In each trip to sea, there are not only nets, fishing rods and tuna, but also the desire to make a living, faith in the ocean, and the resilience to overcome storms of people who are always attached to the ocean as part of their flesh and blood. They are the silent warriors on the marine economic front, the bridge between the mainland and the ocean, and the ones who preserve and protect the country's precious resources. In the context of Vietnam aiming to become a strong maritime nation, rich from the sea, the development of tuna fishing in a sustainable, modern direction, associated with environmental protection and preservation of traditional culture will play a key role. This is not only an affirmation of the country's marine economic potential, but also demonstrates Vietnam's responsibility in participating in global efforts to protect the ocean, the giant green lungs of the planet. The development of longline tuna fishing also shows that, regardless of the era, traditional industries always have the opportunity to revive and shine if they are upgraded with knowledge, technology and sustainable development strategies. It is a journey from small boats weaving through the waves, to modern fleets reaching far out to the ocean, from family meals by the sea, to sashimi plates in international luxury restaurants, all starting from simple tuna catches but soaked in the sweat and love of the sea of the Vietnamese people. In conclusion, longline tuna fishing is a clear demonstration of the connection between people and the ocean, between tradition and modernity, between labor and the desire to rise. Preserving, developing and honoring this traditional craft means preserving a part of the national soul, affirming the mettle and intelligence of the Vietnamese people in their journey to conquer the sea, today, tomorrow and forever, and for that journey to